anyone can be a disciple of Christ. As in Luke chapter 10 verses 1, the Lord appointed 72 others and sent them ahead of him to every town. However, Jesus picked the 12 apostles out of the disciples. They ate the Last Supper with him, and they were specially called and appointed by Christ. Saint Peter was one of the 3 disciples who was closest to Jesus. He witnessed miracles and moments the other apostles weren't aware of. And he was crucified upside down because he believed that he was not worthy of dying the same death as Jesus. And Saint Andrew, he was the first disciple whom Jesus called, and he told Peter that Jesus was the Messiah. And he was crucified in an X-shaped cross where he hung for 3 days, preaching the entire time. Saint James was one of the disciples who witnessed the transfiguration of Christ, and the only disciple whose martyrdom is recorded in Bible, Acts chapter 12 verses 2. Saint John is the disciple whom Jesus loved and is the only disciple who was not martyred and died of old age. Saint Philip was personally reached by Jesus himself, and he brought Bartholomew to Jesus. He was crucified upside down with Bartholomew. When the crowd wanted to release the 2 disciples, he told them to free Bartholomew and leave him hanging there. And Saint Bartholomew, he traveled distant land to share the good news of the gospel, and he was supposedly skinned alive and then beheaded. Saint Matthew was a tax collector, and he's the only evangelist who shared the 8 Beatitudes, and he was staked to the earth using spears. Saint Thomas, better known as Doubting Thomas, and he famously disbelieved the resurrection of Jesus. He traveled as far as the Malabar coast, Kerala, India, to preach the gospel, and he was martyred during prayer. Son of Alphaeus, Saint James, he was also called the James the Less. He was supposedly stoned to death and was buried there beside the temple. And Saint Simon, tradition holds that he spread the gospels as a missionary, and he was allegedly martyred by being cut in half with a saw. Saint Jude, he preached the gospel, and he's the author of canonical letter of Jude. He died as a martyr, and he was crucified and pierced using arrows. Saint Matthias was not one of the original members of the 12. He was appointed by the apostle to replace the Judas Iscariot, and some of the traditions claim that he was stoned at the end of his ministry and was beheaded. Apostles are someone who is set on a mission, but the disciples is simply any of the Jesus followers. We can be anyone. It doesn't matter where the disciple is. Everyone can be a disciple of the Savior. You can, wherever you can be, become the followers of Jesus Christ. In Christianity, disciple is a dedicated follower of Jesus, who's someone who is following Jesus and being changed by Jesus, committed to the mission of Jesus, as we see in Matthew chapter 4 verses 19.